Hi everyone, it's Lori with Behavior Education at Spirit Keeper Animal Sanctuary. I'm joined this Sunday by TC, and this is Serpente Sunday for February 25th, 2024, and we're going to talk about low stress management for you and your snakes, because I get asked almost on a daily basis by people who are trying to do choice-based interactions. How do I clean my snake's enclosure or do enclosure maintenance if my snake's inside the enclosure? Or they'll tell me, hey, I'm doing choice-based handling and I'm trying to do choice-based interactions, but I have to take my snake out because the enclosure needs cleaned. So today I'm going to talk to you about how you actually don't need to take your snake out if you need to clean the enclosure. So let's first talk about what low-stress snake care is. Low-stress snake care and management involves caring for your snakes in a way that minimizes stress and promotes well-being. This approach recognizes that stress can negatively impact an animal's health, including your snakes. It can also negatively impact their behavior and overall welfare. And the goal is to create a positive environment that meets the physical and psychological needs of the snakes. That means not intruding into their personal space or disrupting them unnecessarily, and it means not engaging in forced handling unless it's an emergency. So why am I handling TC? Because TC wanted out of his enclosure, and I opened the door to TC's enclosure and he climbed right out onto me, and he hasn't left me yet. So he's going to be in this video with me, and when I'm tired of him climbing around on me, I'm going to put him in an enrichment area, an exercise space where he can be safe and he can have some freedom to roam. So now let's get back to low-stress snake care. So it is particularly important in settings like zoos, laboratories, and veterinary clinics where animals are under human care. But it's also really important in our homes where snakes are living as part of our family. Low-stress care is considerate management style that reflects an ethical and responsible approach to snake husbandry. So what's a low-stress management style? That means that we are managing all of the things that we need to do with our snakes in order to make sure that they are well cared for in as low-key a way as possible, in a way that's not disrupting them, that's not scaring them, and that is safe for both the snake and for us, okay? And part of this is making sure that you regularly observe your snake's behavior to identify any signs of stress, illness, or discomfort. I want you to remember low stress care means considerate management. And so we need to consider everything about our snake's lives and well-being. It should reflect an ethical and responsible approach to snake husbandry. And we need to recognize that they are individuals who deserve to be treated with respect and compassion. So part of that is observing their body language and behavior and being able to tell when something is amiss. So early detections of signs of stress means keepers can back off and leave the snake alone before they become distressed. And it means noticing signs of illness or discomfort early, because that's going to allow you plenty of time for intervention. The sooner that you can get your snake to the veterinarian, the better when something is out of the ordinary. Remember that snakes benefit from predictability with regards to their care routines, and that when care, including enclosure maintenance, can be accomplished without being intrusive or disruptive to the snake, their stress level is going to remain low and they're much less likely to be defensive. So I get asked frequently by people incorporating these low stress management and choice-based interactions into their snake care, how they can clean the enclosure without taking the snake out. Well, I'm about to show you. While it is always possible to teach the snake through operant conditioning and positive reinforcement training to come out of their enclosures voluntarily when you ask them to, or you can also just wait until they decide to come out and explore on their own, like TC just did a few minutes ago. When you really need to do enclosure maintenance, but the snake's not coming out on their own or they're not trained to come out on their own, there are low-stress ways to clean and do maintenance while they remain in their habitat. And I'm going to show you what those are right now, just as soon as I put TC up, because otherwise he's going to interfere with the video I'm making. So TC is going to tell you goodbye. He is going to go into an enrichment space that is very safe and snake-proofed. and where he can free roam and do whatever he wants, and he won't be intruding into my personal space the way he has been right now. So stand by. We're going to start out with an example of low stress spot cleaning. Mesmer is in his humid hide. So I am simply going to slide his basking rock over the hole on top of his humid hide, and I'm going to spot clean the enclosure. So Mesmer is resting in his humid hide. Mesmer's not having to do a thing. I am not intruding into his space. And I've covered the hold of the human hide so that he feels secure and that I don't have to worry about him coming out, because he is not a particularly friendly snake. So I am able to spot clean the enclosure. I'm able to check the water. It didn't need to be changed on this day. And then I'm able to slide the rock back off of the top of his humid hide and close the doors. And I'm able to do this whole thing without intruding into his space, causing him any distress, and I'm able to do it in a safe manner for me. So this is a low stress way to spot clean your snake's enclosure. This is an example of low stress enclosure maintenance in general. The snake that lives in this enclosure, Mesmer, is in the left rear corner underneath a black rectangular Reptile Basics plastic hide. I took the rock off of the top of his humid hide and I use it to block the entrance of his hide. Now I'm able to take out the water, take out some of the enclosure furnishings if needed, take out his humid hide, and I'm able to clean his water dish. I'm able to give him fresh water, and I'm able to replace the moss in his moss box or just re-moisten the moss in his moss box, whatever is needed. All while he is safely in his hide box with the door covered so that he can't come out and become panicked. I don't have to worry about him coming out, and I'm not disturbing him. I'm able to do some glass cleaning. I've already changed the water and put it back, so he's got a clean, fresh water dish. He's got a clean, fresh humid hide with new damp sphagnum moss. And now I've cleaned off his glass windows of his enclosure, both inside and outside. And I've checked the other furnishings in there, except the one that he's in. So I have cleaned virtually everything and checked it, other than the hide that he's using. And I'll do that another day. So I move the rock out from in front of the hide entrance and I close everything up, and now the entire rest of his enclosure is all clean. Sometimes we have snakes that spend a lot of time in one particular hide. And while it's easy to clean the rest of the enclosure while they're in their favorite hide, at some point we need to clean their favorite hide. So Mesmer's in his humid hide and I slide the rock over the hole. That's the entrance to his humid hide. That gives me an opportunity to take out the rest of the enclosure furnishings and clean underneath this black plastic hide where he spends a lot of his time. Sometimes, and this is typical of Python Regis in particular, he defecates in there, he leaves me urates in there, and he sheds in there, and he hides in there at the same time. So when he is not in there and he is safely and comfortably hidden somewhere else, I use it as an opportunity to clean that favorite hide of his, to clean other enclosure furnishings, to give him a new enrichment item, which in this case is a cardboard box. I could also change the water if needed at this time. I could also spot clean other areas. And when I'm all done, I slide the rock off the top of his humid hide hole and I close the doors of his enclosure up, and I am all finished. And now his enclosure is completely clean and he was not stressed during this process. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found that useful and educational. I'm here to tell you farewell until next time, and please remember to always be kind and love your animals.